be unboxing this latest Magic the Gathering bundle. It's Edge of Eternities, and it's more of a sci-fi set. This was just released, I believe on August 1st of 2025. And I think this might be the last set I'm gonna get for a while because I was sort of up in the air on the Spider-Man one. But after seeing some of the cards, I really don't think I'm gonna get it. And I'm waiting to see some of the cards from Avatar set to see if I'm interested. I like Avatar, but I don't know how I feel about it. As the Magic set, I'll have to see the cards. So inside of this, 5, so it says, battle for the fate of a dying star. At the edge of the known multiverse, a star system teeters on the brink of disaster. Chart a course through Sothera and explore distant planets, wield dazzling magic, and wage war with alien factions. Just steer clear of the unstable super void at the center of the system, unless you choose to harness the vast, chaotic energies within. It comes in with 5 traditional foil and 5 regular borderless celestial basic lands. Oversized spin down life counter. Oh, it has a little Saturn on it. 914 card Edge of Eternities play boosters, plus 10 traditional foil and 10 regular basic lands, 2 reference cards. Alt art traditional foil emissary escort. Edge of Eternities card box, which is this. And these are the planets. Sunstar planet Adagia. Elvoy planet Athros. Or are these spacecraft? They might be spaceships. And this is the planet they're from. Monois. Planet Susur Secundi. Cav. Planet Cavaron. Eumidians. Planet Evendo. Here are the 2 land card packs. We'll look at the full art ones. And here are the play boosters. And here is the life counter. Look how pretty that is. It's so sparkly. like a tie-dye-ish blue. There's a lighter and darker blue wisping together, and then there's all the sparkles. I'm not sure what happened there. And there's the Saturnish looking planet. It's really pretty. Alright, let's open a land pack. Plains, island, swamp, mountain, forest, plains, island, swamp, mountain, forest. Ooh, that's really pretty. Forest. Alright. First pack. Token artifact creature robot. And lander. Sacrifice this token, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Squire's Light Blade. When this equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control. That creature gains first strike until end of turn. Equipped creature gets +1/+0. Gene Pollinator. Oh wow. That artwork is beautiful. Robot Insect. Tap an untapped permanent you control. Add 1 mana of any color. This kind of reminds me of a Saltron a little bit. Eumidians have engineered a device or species to manage every stage of Terra symbiosis. It's a really neat card. Bombard. Bombard deals 4 damage to target creature. Go back to your little war sun stooge. This here is our operation. Kamthar Cav Mine Operator. Dark Endurance. This spell costs 1 less to cast if it targets a blocking creature. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. Damage and effects that say destroy don't destroy it. 1 last chance, make it count. Ilvoy Light Jammer. When this equipment enters, attach it to a target creature you control. That creature gains hexproof until end of turn. It can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. Equipped creature gets +1/+2. Starfighter Pilot. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, surveil 1. Look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard. Bright Star 1 to fight calm. Scopes are clear. The stars are yours. Pinnacle Kill Ship. When this spacecraft enters, it deals 10 damage to up to 1 target creature. Station. Tap another creature you control. Put charge counters equal to its power on this spacecraft. Station only as a sorcery. It's an artifact creature at 7+. Melstrider's Gear. When this equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +2/+1 and has reach. Equip 5. Attached to target creature you control. Equip only as a sorcery. Melstriders are the bleeding edge of Evendo's frontier thaw. I don't really know what I'm looking at here. Is this some kind of vehicle? And this is the creature riding it, driving it? No idea. Dawn Strike Vanguard. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control other than this creature. Arrive as the dawn and banish night through your brilliance. Dauntless Scrapbot. When this creature enters, exile each opponent's graveyard. Create a land or token. The wastelands of yesterday's colonies will pave the road to tomorrow's. Pull through the weft. Ooh, this one's really pretty. I really like that art. Return up to 2 target non-land permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. Then return up to 2 target land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. That which should not have happened is undone, and a new pattern takes its place. We have a mythic, Tezzeret, Cruel Captain. Whenever an artifact you control enters, put a loyalty counter on Tezzeret. Untap target artifact or creature. If it's an artifact creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it. -3, search your library for an artifact card with mana value 1 or less. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. -7, you get an emblem with at the beginning of combat on your turn. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on target artifact you control. If it's not a creature, it becomes a 0/0 robot artifact creature. And here's a rare Cosmogoyf. It's very ethereal looking. This creature's power is equal to the number of cards you own in exile, and its toughness is equal to that number +1. Alert, Cosmogoyf. Recommended action, run. PSS Eric's shipboard computer final transmission. And a land card, Swamp. Alright, next pack. Have another robot token artifact. same one on the back. Ooh, look at this one. Blooming Stinger. Plant Scorpion. When this creature enters, another target creature you control gains death touch until end of turn. Death never smelled so sweet. That looks really cool. Look, there's venom dripping off of its stinger. Frontier War Ranger. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. The Cav have more than ideology or profit on the line. They fight for a home. Insatiable Skittermaw. Insect Horror. Menace. This creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Void. At the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Red's gone, and the chittering, it won't stop. Decrypted log 3.88. Star Breach Whale. When this creature enters, surveil 2. Look at the top 2 cards of your library, then put any number of them into your graveyard, and the rest on top of your library in any order. Starport Security. Tap another target creature. This ability costs 2 less to activate if you control a creature with a +1/+1 counter on it. You are a suspect in an ongoing investigation. Do not resist apprehension. Another Mouse-Strider's gear. Worm Wall Sweeper. When this spacecraft enters surveil 2 station, tap another creature you control, put charge counters. Wait, did I already? Maybe I already got Worm Wall Sweeper too. Sunstar Lightsmith. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature and draw a card. She forges blades of incandescence and quenches them in pitch darkness. Hymn of the Faller. That's cool. Surveil 1, then you draw a card and lose 1 life. If a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn, draw another card. Does truth lie in the void between stanzas? Survey Mechan. Hexproof. Sacrifice this creature. It deals 3 damage to any target. Target player draws 3 cards and gains 3 life. This ability costs X less to activate, where X is the number of differently named lands you control. Specimen Freighter. When this spacecraft enters, return up to 2 target non-spacecraft creatures to their owner's hands. It has station and flying. Whenever this spacecraft attacks, defending player mills 4 cards. Archenemy's Charm. Choose 1. Exile target creature or planeswalker. Return 1 or 2 target creature and or planeswalker cards from your graveyard to your hand. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. It gains lifelink until end of turn. Zealous Display. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. If it's not your turn, untap those creatures. The Sunstar Free Company is not swayed by profit. Sunstar is their faith, the prism through which they cast light across Sathera. lots of different lander art on the back. Oh my gosh. Alright, we have another Bombard. Another Dark Endurance. Another Ilvoy Light Jammer. Another Starfighter Pilot. Sammy's Curiosity. You gain 2 life. Create a lander token. Tenux got warned of danger, but Sammy forged ahead without heed. Is he going into a portal? I wouldn't touch that, man. Depressurize. Oh my goodness. Looks like his head's exploded. Looks like he depressurized alright. Target creature gets -3, -0 until end of turn. Then if that creature's power is 0 or less, destroy it. The Sunstar Faith teaches of perfect void, of emptying oneself so that the light may fill the hollow. But in the void of death, its teachings bring little comfort. Nanoform Sentinel. It's another robot. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, untap another target permanent. This ability triggers only once each turn. Cloud sculpting naturally led the Ilvoy to other methods of reshaping matter. I don't know if I'm a fan of the robots in Magic. Ruinous Rampage. Choose 1. Ruinous Rampage deals 3 damage to each opponent. Exile all artifacts with mana value 3 or less. Cav Battle Rhetoric teaches that there are no malfunctions on the battlefield, just equipment that need to be utilized differently. Ilvoy Infiltrator. Where does it see from? I see a mouth, right? But I don't see its eye. Maybe it doesn't need eyes to see. Jellyfish Rogue. This creature can't be blocked if you've cast 2 or more spells this turn. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Cloud kill agents slip in and out like a breeze. Caesarian Voidborn. Whenever this creature or another creature or artifact you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Warp. You may cast this card from your hand for its warp cost. Exile this creature at the beginning of the next end step, then you may cast it from exile on a later turn. Rescue Skiff. When this spacecraft enters, return target creature or enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And it has station and flying. Ragos Deft Gastronaut. Lobster Citizen. At the beginning of each end step, if you gained life this turn, untap Ragos. And another Bombard. Hollow. And a basic land swamp. Alright, next pack. Okay. We got a human soldier this time. With the same lander as the last one on the back. For our token creatures. Ilvoy Galeblade. It has flash, flying. To sacrifice this creature, draw a card. Uthros guards have such rapid reflexes that it has led to rumors of experimental precognition. Night Luminary. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Warp 1 Planes. You may exit this card from your hand for its warp cost. Exile this creature at the beginning of the next end step, then you may cast it from exile on a later turn. I thank you that I do not shine alone. Another Blooming Stinger. Another Frontline War Ranger. Another Insatiable Skittermaw. Another Star Beach Whale. Another Depressurize. Another Pinnacle Killship. Atmospheric Greenhouse. When this spacecraft enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. It has station, flying, trample. It's like a submarine. Lightless Evangel. Whenever you sacrifice another creature or artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. You've been given great purpose. Your matter will feed the singularity. Atomic Microsizer. Equipped creature gets +1/+0. Whenever equipped creature attacks, choose up to one target creature. That creature can't be blocked this turn and has base power and toughness 1/1 until end of turn. When packing for a stealth mission, it's important to fold your dimensions tightly. Pinnacle Emissary. And it's another robot. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless drone artifact creature token with flying, and this token can block only creatures with flying. Focus Fire. Focus Fire deals X damage to target attacking or blocking creature where X is 2 plus the number of creatures and or spacecraft you control. We are the arrows of Sun Soul's quiver. Declaration of Fleet Purpose, Axiom 2. And a basic land island. Drone. And right away we have another Focus Fire. Intrepid Tenderfoot, Insect Citizen. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, activate only as a sorcery. Nerix felt their molt coming. Before taking a new form, they had to find what Evendo required of them. Rig for War. Target creature gets +3/+0 and gains first strike and reach until end of turn. We build our beam cutters to mince bedrock. Should slice a Eumidian hole with no issues. A Virus Beetle. When this creature enters, each opponent discards a card. The Eumidian biotax were delighted when a mutated malware gene devastated their system. They'd encourage the trait so long as future clutches could be contained. And this is a pretty card. Self-Craft Mechan. It's another robot. When this creature enters, you may sacrifice an artifact. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and draw a card. Sometimes the best parts are already in use. Red Tiger Mechan. See I wasn't expecting this set to have a bunch of robots in it. This is a robot cat. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not a big fan of robots and modern machinery in these sets. So it is haste. Warp one mountain. You may cast this card from your hand for its warp cost, While the Cavern tiger has been extinct for centuries, its renowned ferocity endures. Mechanozoa, or robot jellyfish. When this creature enters, tap target artifact or creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. If a permanent with a stun counter would become untapped, remove one from it instead. It is Warp 2 Island. Alpha Rail, Dreaming Acolyte. When Alpha Rail enters, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard an artifact card. During your turn, Alpha Rail has Death Touch. I am worthy of the Father's blessing, I can prove it. Pulsar Squadron Ace. When this creature enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a spacecraft card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And no. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell. Your ship and crew have been contaminated by the Great Destroyers. We cannot risk their spread. Prepare for unraveling. Wandering Ephemeral. This land appears tapped, so this is a land card. Wandering Ephemeral. I'm not sure what that word is. Exalted Sunborn, that's a really cool card. Very pretty artwork. It has flying and lifelink and a warp 1 plane. Beamsaw Prospector. When this creature dies, create a lander token. The Cav have learned their lesson about mining too deep. Zern Miffles had not. And Plains card. And yet another robot token. I'm so mad about this. Why did I get 4 of these? Wait, was it 4 or more? Yeah, why do I have 4 of these? They all have the same. 2 of them have the same lander on the back. Not that it's really all that. Oh my gosh. Intrepid Tenderfoot. Rig for War. Virus Beetle. Self-Craft Mechan. Flight Deck Coordinator. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, you gain 2 life. The Hidden Might of the Sun Star Free Company is its technical staff. Another Nanoform Sentinel. Dockworker Drone. This creature enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. When this creature dies, put its counters on target creature you control. Eternity columns are the trade hubs of every solar system. Close Encounter. As an additional cost to cast this spell, choose a creature you control or a warped creature card you own in exile. Close Encounter deals damage equal to the power of the chosen creature or card to target creature. Many mistake Terra symbiotic philosophy as pacifism. They are rarely wrong twice. Seed ship bird tender. Another insect citizen. When this creature enters, mill 3 cards. Inspiration blossoms from fertile route. Desculpting blast. That's an interesting art. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If it was attacking, create a 1/1 colorless drone artifact creature token with flying, and this token can block only creatures with flying. Your atoms will serve my ambitions in a much more useful form. Territorial Bruntar. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast that card this turn. Some creatures have adapted to thrive in the unstable chaos of Caveron that is. Elegy Acolyte. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose 1 life. And it has Void. Mechan Navigator. It's another robot. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard a card. It will void temper their curiosity with caution, deploying Mechan pilots before they risk mortal scientists. And a plains. Once you know it. Another robot artifact creature. What in the world is going on here? Starport Security. Germinating Worm. When this creature enters, you gain 2 life. Warp 1 Forest. Cavland Seeker. It has Menace. I don't know if we've seen this yet. It has Menace. And when this creature enters, create a lander token. At the beginning of the end step on your next turn, sacrifice that token. Embrace Oblivion. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature, destroy target creature or spacecraft. Join me in the next eternity. Cloud Sculpt Technician. Jellyfish Artificer. As long as you control an artifact, this creature gets +1/+0. A cloud sculptor at work is like a carefully balanced weather system and just as dangerous to interfere with. Bright Spear Zealot. This creature gets +2/+0 as long as you've cast 2 or more spells this turn. My purpose is my spear. My spear is my life. My life is for the Regent Maximum. Another Malstrider's Gear. All Fates Scroll. For navigating that which was, is, and will be. Use social engineering. Harmonious production for a better world. Vote out. Convoke. Your creatures can help cast this spell. Each creature you tap while casting this spell pays for 1 or 1 mana of that creature's color. Destroy target creature. Democracy is not always just. Litho Breaking. Create a lander token, then you may sacrifice an artifact. When you do, Litho Breaking deals 2 damage to each creature. A Cav Landing. Southern expression meaning a bad time. A Cav Landing. They're dogging on the calves. Menon, the right hand. Jellyfish Advisor. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You must cast artifact spells from the top of your library. Sammy, Ship's Engineer. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, create a tapped 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. Whenever Sammy was down on her luck, they returned to an old comfort, the clinks and clanks of tinkering. And Swamp. Alright, 2 packs left. Kill me. Kill me. At least we got a different lander on the back. Not that that really matters, does it? Flight Deck Coordinator again. Drix Fatemaker. When this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter is on it has trample. Melded Moxite. When this artifact enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Only the most skilled matter shapers can imbue Moxite with other raw energies, but the rewards are well worth the danger. Ooh, Comet Crawler. That one's pretty cool. Insect Horror. Whenever this creature attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, this creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Found the stranded crew in an icy labyrinth. Well, what's left of them. Decrypted log 2.23. Sinister Cryologist. When this creature enters, target creature and opponent controls gets -3, -0 until end of turn. Auxiliary Boosters. When this equipment enters, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token and attach this equipment to it. Equipped creature gets +1/+2 and has flying. An intelligent jetpack for those who find themselves lost in space. Another zealous display. Harmonious Grove Strider. It's a beast. That's interesting looking. It reminds me of whatchamacallit. It's a dinosaur. It's one of the most basic, well-known ones, and I can't think of the name. Ward 2. And this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Beyond the borders of pinnacle space, alien worlds of untold wonder await. Umbral Collar Zealot. Sacrifice another creature or artifact. Surveil 1. All things will fall to the 0 point. By accepting this truth, my path is known and my fate is certain. Honored Knight Captain. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 white human soldier. Creature token. Hope can never fade so long as there's a hand to carry my sword when I fall. Unravel. Counter target spell. If the amount of mana spent to cast that spell was less than its mana value, you draw a card. Drix Weft Walking requires neither Eternity columns nor Pinnacle code books, but the art is ancient and each passing is a leap of faith. Might Form Harmonizer. Insect Druid. Landfall and Warp. Okay, the cyborg corgi is pretty cute, I have to say. Chrome Companion. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you gain 1 life. Liberation Station's morale greatly improved after Rover took up residence. I mean, that's pretty cute. And a Swamp basic land card. And here's our last pack. Can we get a token that's not the robot, please? That's very, very disappointing. That's 6 dupes, right? Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the same token creature. That is so annoying. That's unlucky in my eye. Or plate pangolin. It reminds me of a hedgehog or maybe an armadillo actually. And that's another robot, of course. Whenever another artifact you control enters, you may pay 1 mana. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. It wasn't the most efficient design, but the miners refused to part with old Pangy. Perigee Beckoner. It's another horror. When this creature enters until end of turn, another target creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains. When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Cryogen Relic. When this artifact enters or leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Older than the Eumidian siege ships that populated Alfendo. Squire's Lightblade. Another Gene Pollinator. Drill 2 deep. Choose 1. Put 5 charge counters on target spacecraft or planet you control, or destroy target artifact. The rapacious appetite that ended their world became the only means by which the Cav could lift their civilization from it. Another Depressurize. Faller's Faithful. When this creature enters, destroy up to one other target creature. If that creature wasn't dealt damage this turn, its controller draws 2 cards. Death is a trick of the light. Snuff it out and discover immortality. Plummet record to 170.312. Reroute systems. Choose 1. Target artifact or creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Damage and effects that say destroy don't destroy it. Reroute systems deals 2 damage to target tapped creature. Eumidian Terrabotanist. Another insect druid has landfall. To plant the seeds of the other is to cultivate the self. Eumidian Aphorism. Scavenger Grounds. It's a land desert. Thrumming Hive Pool. Affinity for Slivers. Slivers you control have double strike and haste. At the beginning of your upkeep, create 2/1/1 colorless sliver creature tokens. I'll never escape this rock, but I fear they will. Decrypted log 4.11. Specimen Freighter. We already got this one before. And a Swampland card. Oops. I don't expect the Spider-Man one to be very good. Based on the cards that have been previewed so far, I really don't expect the Spider-Man one to be very good. I don't know about Avatar yet. So I guess we have to see. But I was kind of excited for this set. Alright, well that's going to be the end of this video. video. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope that you'll join me for the next one.